you really don't have any other weapons outside of CD. So that's why I come back to the way, like, is the Jones is doing business. The Jones, what'd you say?
NFL what?
Legend, man. Brandon Cook's going to the Hall of Fame, bro. Don't get me off the track, bro. Because you know you're
bro. Let's know, bro. Is he better than DJ? I'm not trying to be on top of him.
I'm willing to bet his stats better.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Come on, Kyra. Okay, we're gonna keep going. My bad, man.
You fine.
We give legend. Everybody legend. So
I mean, he just got what, like 1,000-yard seasons on what? How many different teams? That's pretty.
Did it for about five years in a row.
That's pretty worthy. You know, I ain't saying he top nothing, but he might go. You know, they let Terrell Davis.
You just went from automatically in to he might go.
That's an NFL legend, though. Is DJ an NFL legend?
Man, we're not comparing Brandon Cooks to D-Jack. Come on, man. We're not.
I'm just saying.
We're not comparing him to D-Jack.
No, like culture-wise, but, you know, at their peak, but for their careers, it might be a different story, you know. But either way, man, the projection for the Cowboys that I'm looking at right now is nothing that it wasn't already going to be. You got one weapon on offense now, right? You had to sign him. You should have got it done at the start of the season. You waited until Justin Jefferson got his deal and then used that. So now you kind of that situation's over with. Just looking forward, they got a good offensive line. They got their weapon. I'm looking at. I don't know where they're gonna fall at. Still, you know, they're looking like they're trying to go back to a smash mouth kind of team. You know, investing in the O line and D line. Made a bunch of transactions on that D line these last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So they're trying to beef it.
That's how y'all drafted terrible for 3 years straight. Proceed.
We did not draft terrible. Why?
Your interior D line and the left.
Go ahead.
Where Taco at?
They buzz. I mean, it's been one.
Taco out the league. Taco out the league. Shout out Taco Charlton, but yeah, y'all. When y'all drafted him over T.J. Watt, that wasn't that was out of
that. That wasn't a bust. That was drunk.
No,
you can't tell me. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about? Like, it didn't even make sense. Nobody said. Nobody had them on their board to go over anybody. Y'all just make drafting decisions.
You know, Jared gonna go for a reach every now and then, try to find somebody.
Bro, y'all do draft and y'all pick up, but bro, y'all won't put together a whole team for nothing. Y'all will become one-dimensional. And I liked y'all last year before what's name got hurt.
Who?
Big before Dig got hurt. Then I thought y'all should have re-signed. Who y'all didn't re-sign? He just signed with the Vikings, I think. Gilmore. I thought y'all should have re-signed Stephon Gilmore, but you know.
Oh man. Nah, he was.
I have okay.
Can't say no now after the Bland news.
What are you going to say now?
I mean, you gotta roll out there what you got, but that decision was made.
That gets killed in the NFL for acting like they're superstars out here. You can't just roll out of bed and go to the NFL.
What you mean?
You just roll with what you have. Kyrell, y'all don't. What depth do y'all have in corner after Bland? If y'all let Stephon Gilmore go,
we drafted corners. You know, we got Carson.
You don't believe, man, because you know they name don't mean they're gonna get out there and stop Justin Jefferson.
We don't need to stop Justin Jefferson every week. That's one player. We have a corner for that. We didn't lose all our corners.
But you don't know what y'all corner gonna look like. He just came back off of injury, fam. And y'all
got Diggs back. We got Jordan Lewis. What you mean? Well, we don't
Jordan Lewis is a cup of nothing. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
Jordan Lewis is a good player, bro.
Jordan Lewis is not good. He's not better than Deron Bland. Deron Bland not good. So my bad.
Jordan Lewis is better than anybody you finna sign for. He better than Stephon Gilmore. That's for sure.
Are you kidding me?
Jordan, you said hold on. Jordan Lewis is better than Gil?
Yes. Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
You don't
it's not even close. Did y'all watch Stephon Gilmore at the end of the year last year? Y'all thinking the defensive player of the year is Stephon Gilmore. Y'all thinking first year in Dallas Stephon Gilmore. Y'all not watching. Y'all not talking about Stephon Gilmore that was playing last year.
Correct. Stephon Gilmore had a decent year last year.
Yeah, he was decent. He wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing well at the end. I agree with that, but it was still a decent.
Why he wasn't on the team?
Bro, he got picked up. What are you talking about?
Like 3-4 days ago. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like he's not an older corner, but I'm saying y'all have nothing now. You just told me Jordan Lewis is going to step up and be a number one corner.
He missed somebody's training camps. He missed somebody's OTA.
No.
That's because of contract, though. That's not because of his
contractual,
play.
Fool. Like, stop it, Kyrie. You just brought up Jordan Lewis, and you going to tell me Stephon Diggs? Man, come on. It's going to be a long night for y'all, bro. Y'all better not play us.
Hey,
y'all better not play us.
Look. So, CD gets the contract, makes him the highest paid. I'm going to look at these highest paid receivers in the league. Justin Jefferson.
You got to rank them.
At 110. Justin Jefferson at 110 guaranteed. CD Lamb right there, number 2, 100,000 guaranteed. AJ Brown, 84 mil guaranteed. DJ Moore, 81 guaranteed. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 77 guaranteed. So with him putting them up there, is CD, and I'll let y'all take his note. Yeah, he does.
He should.
Ooh, he's not better than St. Brown.
Yeah, I was just about to say, is CD top 3 receivers solidified in the league?
Absolutely. Who's better?
Quay, I'll let you go ahead. You said nah, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, so he's not better than Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
He's not better than Jamar Chase.
Okay.
He's not better than I would say I think he's better than Stephon Diggs. I think he had a better year than Stephon.
Yeah, he's better than Diggs.
I think, but he's not better than bro. Who I'm missing?
St. Brown, AJ Brown.
No, not St. Brown. I'm talking about Devontae Adams. I don't think he's better than him. He's not better than Tyreek.
Yep, Tyreek Hill in there.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying he may crack top 5 because of his numbers last year. But I'm talking about just me watching him the skill test like Kyrie want to put out. I think he's a decent receiver, but they literally only throw to CD.
Kyrie, what you think about that?
So I get y'all, man. Like, you gotta respect everybody's body of work, right? If you're gonna respect everybody's body of work and not just look at last season, I get y'all having Devontae.
Which one of Devontae had a good season with the terrible quarterback?
That's what I'm saying. I understand you having Devontae above him.
Justin Jefferson missed 4 games and cracked the rack.
And Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson. It's body of work. But if we're gonna go off of last year and what CD did, it's Reek, it's Gillis, and then it's CD.
No, but look what Tyreek is doing there with another good receiver on side of him. They're only throwing it to CD Lamb. Bro, Jamar Chase has to do that with 3 other dudes on side of him. You feel me? Like, I'm saying, what do you mean? He got 3 other good receivers on side of him.
Okay, I feel you, but they're not getting their numbers, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they.
What I'm saying, they're getting Kyrie. Yes, they are, bro. He got 3 receivers, and how T. Higgins get his numbers. Boyd get his numbers, bro. They get their numbers.
All right, so you saying it's harder to produce with another dog on the other side?
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying is CD doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to split the numbers. Justin Jefferson don't have to because his receivers is terrible. His co-receivers is terrible. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying his numbers just like I tell you, bro, that numbers are calorie high. Y'all could be down by 40. He's gonna have 110 in the first half, and he's gonna end up with 375. Y'all still gonna lose by 32. And then Dak led in QBR, and come on, bro. Like,
if you want to go at his clutch gene and all this, that's
what clutch gene? He has none of that. He don't even own a pair of those. He owns no pair of clutch genes.
You saying points don't matter. If somebody points 4 points, they don't matter. If it's not,
I didn't say that. I said the yards. He does get a lot of yards, but he's literally, if they throw the ball 10 times, he's getting 7 of them.
Ooh, that's how playing quarterback
works. No, I'm talking about right now you get his numbers.
That's
no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they get a lot of low calorie numbers, and his numbers are always gonna look great. I don't think he's top 5.
Yeah.
So you got him, Kyrie. You got him in the top 3. Coy, you say he's bubble top 5.
He's
somewhere
top
in there.
5.
I think after.
My bad, Jalen.
No, I'm just saying. I think after last year, I'll put CD in the top 3 for going into this season, but that's really just because I don't think Devontae Adams is going to have a QB to give him the numbers he needs, and he's right there with Chase just because Chase has still got this contract stuff going on. I don't know exactly. If I had to pick one of the two, I'm taking Chase over CD, but I wouldn't be mad at CD being right there at that spot. Either way, he's 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there, in my estimation.
I do believe he deserved to get paid, and it was definitely what the Cowboys definitely needed. Like that was a non-negotiable. Like really, no player they got, even Dak. Like I talk bad, like crazy about Dak, but I do think Dak is a good quarterback. I just don't like Irel say his clutch gene. I don't think he owned a pair of none of them. I don't think he had that in his bag at all. But getting you to win games, I think your team has to be rock solid, like top to bottom, no discrepancies in the defense. He has to have a good team. The Ravens. If Dak is on the Ravens, I think they would have, you know what I'm saying? Not saying Lamar not, you know, I think he has the whole team, the organization, the coach, everything has to be right, and he can win.
Whoa, Jalen.
What?
Quay, I think you just accidentally said that Dak is better than Lamar.
He didn't say that.
I didn't say that. I'm saying the Ravens is a better ran organization from top to bottom. They have the organization is ran well, their coach well. They make sure that their team needs everything. They address their needs. And they make sure that their quarterback has everything that they need. Dallas does not predicate that. They literally give me their top 5, these great players. I'm just saying, I don't think the Ravens fall off terribly if they have Dak because he's a good quarterback, is all I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you were finna say the opposite.
I don't believe if y'all had Lamar Jackson, I think he's 10 times better than Dak. To me, he's just more clutch. He knows how to play football better. That's just me. But I like that as a quarterback.
I ain't gonna argue about Lamar or Patrick. Like, yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah, I think he was just saying if he was on a better ran organization. I feel you. Like the Ravens, then maybe his outcomes will be just a little bit slightly different. Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, that I agree with that. I think They had to lock this up, and they had to lock CD up for them to be able to move forward going in this. Folks, want to thank everybody that's been watching with us so far. Make sure you guys tune in on CentexSports1.com. Also, download the app on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. That's Centex Sports 1, the app, or you can go to CentexSports1.com. If you want to watch all of this content, make sure you go to CentexSportsNetwork.com, or you can go onto YouTube, Centex Sports TV. Or you can check us out on Roku on GFam TV. Check us out on there. This will be streaming to that as well. And folks, we kind of want to keep it right here talking about this Cowboys news. But first, I want to say thanks to both of my guests coming on once again with me, Kyrell and Quay, on here again with us. Give them a little slight round of applause. We want to stay right here on this Cowboys news. Jerry Jones has put some quotes out here that is definitely worth talking about, and we have to talk about this right here. This is on alldallas.com. This is a direct quote from Jerry Jones, everybody, as it pertains. I think he was being asked a question about his role as the GM so far as the Cowboys. We know he's not looking to give that spot up. I'm going to do the censored version of what he said because he had a couple choice words to say in here. So this is a quote from Jerry Jones. He said, "I've done it all, so I have an ordinate amount of confidence that if anybody can figure out how to get this stuff," I'm bleeping out the words here, y'all, "this stuff done, I can figure out how to get it done. I've been there every which way from Sunday and have busted my butt," he didn't say that, but I'm censoring it, "a bunch. And there's nobody living that's out cutting and shooting that can't give you a bunch of times that they've busted their butts. So no, there's nobody that could effing come in here and do all the he meant this, y'all, that could come in here and do all the contracts and be a GM any better than I can. Plus, I'm where the buck stops. If it F's up, I got to cover it. And so there, you can't give it to anybody enough. You can't give it. There's nobody that can do it." So that is a direct quote from Jerry Jones and what he decided to say about his role as GM as the Cowboys. Now, we've talked about this plenty of times. We talked about it, I think, a little bit last week on the show, but just amongst ourselves, we've talked about it a few different times. And Jerry Jones' role, y'all were just kind of talking about it with the draft. His role as GM, he feels like he is the best to do this job at the GM position. He doesn't want to hire anybody else. He thinks that him and his son, Stephen Jones, can get this done by themselves. And he wants, like he said, he wants the buck to stop with him. He wants to be the final say-so on all these decisions. Kyrell, we'll go back to you to start this one. What do you think about Jerry Jones's comments about his role as the GM and his role going forward as a GM? Because that's what he said. This is going forward as a GM. Kyrell, what do you think about those comments Jerry Jones made?
Hey man, he really don't like us. Like, he really don't like us. Like, he really know how to get up these, the real fan skins. Like everybody that be outside chanting like he need to go and everything. Like that's exactly who that's for. So like this, it's just you can't do nothing but laugh at this point. And like Quay, I really need you to come on here and like have that energy, man, because this dude deserves to be like just eviscerated, bro. Like I'm so tired of this. It's man, it's 28 years now dealing with this. This dude thinks that he can make that he's just the smartest dude in the room and knows football better than anybody. He's like nobody's more football than him. And it's like, man, for much of my adult life, every great decision that the Cowboys have made, that means Jerry Jones has been had to been talked into it. Or Johnny talked out of Johnny Manziel and things like that. It's like, okay, dude, we don't know how, like us as Cowboys fans, was what I mean by we. Yeah. We don't know how we're going to be like, I hate to use this verbiage, man, but delivered from this family, because it is tyranny. Is so bad at this point. That's like I'm really. At this point, I'm a jealous fan of what the 49ers do, what the Ravens do, what the Packers do, or the Steelers. I mean, even the Steelers, even though I'm hoping that they're going through some turmoil right now, but even it don't look like this. You don't got the owners in there having to prove to everybody that they're a good GM. What does that even happen at? Oh yeah, I can do this. Like, man, who are you talking to? Like, what's being called into question, man. But it's another year of questionable decisions, and then getting told to quit crying about it, because that's essentially what he just told us. So
that's exactly what he just told us. I think he wants to let it be known that he is the GM, and I think he's been listening to all the talk around his decision, especially with the CD thing. It's kind of elevated some, but he definitely has gotten fed up with what he's been hearing about him as a GM, and he wants to kind of put his foot down, let everybody know he's a GM. Quay, what do you think about this, man, about Jerry Jones' comments towards him being a GM and how he wants to let everybody know that he's not going anywhere anytime soon?
He's the worst GM in the last 25 years, period. And you can't trust anybody that can comb their hair in one comb. So it's just like, so even the statements he's telling y'all, even within the line, he don't even trust his son. He hasn't taught anybody to be the heir of the throne. His grandson, he trusts nobody. So he's telling you that really y'all are doomed until this family gets rid of the Cowboys. His sons can't control it. They don't know what they're doing. And he's just telling you, he's forewarning you that even the good and bad decisions that have been made, he's made them. If you read in between the lines like I am, I'm like, why is Jerry Jones saying anything? First of all, he's a clout chaser. He loves clout. No matter what, even the Cowboys win, lose, draw, y'all gonna have to be 6 at a time. Jerry Jones is getting talked about. He found a way to stay in front of the camera. He can only comb one time. One comb through Kyrie. Like, I just don't understand. Like I said, y'all are doomed until he understands. First of all, he's gonna be the GM of the Cowboys till the last day. And in his will, he's gonna say, give it to, like, he's not giving it. He doesn't trust anybody. His son is in the organization. He literally it would feel like a slap in the face. I've only known the Cowboys. I worked for the Cowboys. He's telling me nobody's capable of helping you run and or make decisions. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. Go ahead and respond, Kyrell.
No, he hit it right on the nose. Like at this point, we look at Steven, we look at and look at Jerry, look at the whole Jones organization. Like they're great at making this and selling this brand, but they're not super great at running the football team. And it's all because because they've they care about it so much, or they walk there every day and go up in there. Really, essentially, man, they look like they're going in there and playing house every day. Like, like they're going in there, putting on their suits and talking all this big stuff. Oh, we're the best at this. We're the best people for the job at this, that, and the third. But really, I haven't seen a football guy in there. Like, if it wasn't for Will McClay, this franchise would it'd be even worse. The situation would be even worse. But Jerry knows that with with the negatives he brings and the positives Will McClay does bring, it's gonna get them right where they need to be, right on the cusp, but always in the headlines. We ain't got to do this. We ain't got to relinquish power, but we still get to make our money. And until then, I don't know what it's gonna take. We're gonna have to crowdfund or something like as a state and like, look, we gotta buy the Cowboys back from this family because it's getting worse and it's gonna keep getting worse. Watch what happens if Dak leaves, man. Watch what happens.
Yeah, they
Then he
definitely
tests the birdie.
they definitely. Last week we kind of talked about it about should Dak come back. They haven't solved anything with his quarterback. I mean, with his contract, and should it be the quarterback going forward? I think after the last preseason game, we just had to sit and watch Trey Lance play. I think all questions have been answered about is Dak coming back. Dak will for sure be the quarterback next year going forward because Trey Lance is not the answer. He is absolutely 100% not the answer.
I told y'all when bro, the 49ers don't give away good goods, bro. No, you know what I'm saying? None of that's going on. They don't give away good players, bro. You see how they fighting for the players but they're not giving away, bro. Once they wasted the first round on him, and like I said, I knew someone was up with the Cowboys when they started making him act just like that.
Yeah.
The motions, the clap, here we go. Like, what are we talking about? Like, he's not that quarterback. Like what are we talking? Like, he literally started taking his mannerisms, what he did, the way he dropped back. He looked like he doesn't know anything about football. He doesn't look like Trey Lance is an individual person. He's just a black dude that plays for the Cowboys. Proceed.
I want to know the scout that because this is what I feel like happens in NFL scouting. I feel like one guy does some real work, and then the rest kind of like parrot that scouting report, but without really doing any research. Because I'm like, okay, this dude was from North Dakota State or South Dakota, whichever one of them Dakotas that be winning all the time.
Kyrie, I gotta stop you real quick though, Kyrie, before you finish this statement. Now you can't make that type of statement about the 49ers, but proceed.
What type of statement?
Bro, they drafted him for a reason, bro. We drafted him, bro. That was literally one of the worst hits the 49ers have had.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it, though. We just talked about Taco.
Taco was terrible for me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The entire time. Like, Taco never had a good anything.
Trey Lance had a good something?
He had a better anything than Taco. He didn't get to go.
Man, look, bro. The point
Why would you draft a man named Taco with your first round pick? Like, come on, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. And Kyrie, but listen, you told me you was going to be a Houston Texans fan this year too, so bro, we can talk about it, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna root for them against the Cowboys, but I'm going for them. I'm hoping they do well.
We're gonna beat you.
They're not gonna beat you. Hey,
we'll beat y'all. Don't worry about that. We'll beat y'all. But we know, like I said, we know Trey Lance is definitely not the answer for coming up behind Dak. I think Dak is definitely going to be back going forward. And before we get off the Cowboys, want to get to their last point of Deron Bland is going to miss time. Led the league in interceptions last year, first team All-Pro. He's going to miss time for the Cowboys. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with a stress fracture in his foot. So Cowboys are going to be down, like Quay brought up earlier, Stephen Gilmore is not going to be back. So it's going to be Trayvon Diggs coming off of an injury, and it's going to be Jordan Lewis, who's usually their slot corner. I'm not sure if he's going to kick out or play inside. I know Kyrell has some insight about that, where they're going to go in that direction.
They're going to go with Carson. It'd be Carson outside.
Okay, so they'll switch him, or they'll keep him in the inside. But Kyrell, what do you think this is going to do for the boys? You just talked about CD coming back and how that's going to help them. What type of void and what type of gap is this going to leave in the secondary for the Cowboys?
I mean, that's a huge loss. Like, we know what type of player DeRon Bland. Like you just said, it, first team All Pro. You can have your opinions on them. Let that be what they be. But at the end of the day, numbers is numbers, and the boy got the ball and went to the end zone. So having two of those like we were supposed to have last year, it's gonna mess things up a little bit. But we still gonna be probably competing for that NFC East title, and it's a huge loss. Like, honestly, it definitely takes the ceiling down for this team, but I don't think they were going to reach that ceiling anyways. So it's just going to be a NFL season, man. It happens to every team. Nothing's ever perfect, unless you're it's just never perfect.
That never go perfect for y'all.
Injuries wise, yeah, I know. You ain't right. You ain't lying. Glad you said that too.
Well, think about it, bro. We be injured going into the playoffs every year, literally.
No, I was going to say the 49ers.
We still find a way to beat y'all, though. So, it'd be cool with me.
That's cool. That's great.
Just like you just told me in basketball. Well, listen, it's back to football season. You just told me in basketball, I can't say nothing. But my team did your team dirty in the playoffs, so I can do something.
Good thing we didn't even see y'all in the playoffs this year, so got lucky with that.
The Cowboys 49er banter is already starting up. The season started. I know them both of these organizations.
They're not winning 8 games.
8 games?
Y'all might 8,
wow.
8, 9.
Wow.
Y'all not cracking 10.
Man.
So with that,
I don't think y'all the best team in y'all. Who the best team in the division, Jalen?
Can you gamble over radio waves?
That's what I was gonna say. So with the DeRon Bland news, the CD news, the Jerry Jones news, all that together, where do you think the Cowboys are gonna shake out in the NFC East? Quay, I'll go ahead and start with you. Where do you think they're gonna shake out in the NFC East?
I don't know. That division ain't mid. They'll find a way to sneak in and be around the end. And one game away to win a division on some janky, but they'll be a wild card if they make the playoffs.
So no division win. I think I agree with you there. I don't think they win in the division. Kyrie, where do you see them shaking out in this NFC East and for the playoff picture?
Yeah, man. I wish I had something more exciting for y'all. Like, I want to be like, hey, y'all wrong. Like, we definitely winning 12, 13 games this year. And I know that's what y'all expected me to say, man, but I just don't see it. We ain't got no running back. We brought back Zeke. We got one receiver.
Wait, who'd y'all bring back? Who'd y'all bring back a running back?
Zeke. Elliott. I know. Yeah, you can just giggle all you want to, man.
He's brought back the bus. And then your quarterback, man, bro. Man, then he gonna switch his number like something gonna change, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's Jerome Bettis post-retirement, bro. And it's not looking.
And then Jerry Jones brought him back really because it was an identity move. He didn't have no running back. And usually he'll go, well, I dropped it. You don't want to go with Deuce. Yeah, put Deuce in there, let him run.
Man.
Yeah, they got.
He back 18.
I seen Deuce Vaughn get a little bit of action going into that preseason, but Cowboys they got a lot of speculation surrounding them as usual. That's nothing different, like Kyrell said and Quay said. They play for the headlines. We know that's why both of these guys are. We know that's what Jerry Jones wants. He said he wants to win a championship. If you hear that cry in the middle of the night, that's him wanting to win a championship. Whatever he said last year on the radio, that sounded crazy. I think he's definitely about the headlines and about making some money up there for the Cowboys, the most valuable franchise in the NFL. Folks, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back. When we come back, we're going to talk about some more NFL preseason buzz. Got a lot of things going on around the NFL, and the preseason games just wrapped up. They're going to take a bye week and start the next and start the regular season. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some more NFL preseason buzz. Hour number 2 coming up. We've got PJ joining us. We're going to talk about some high school football and some college football. You're watching Centex Primetime here on Centex Sports Network and Centex Sports 1. We'll be right back.
When you suffer an injury at home, work, or on the road involving a car, 18-wheeler, or motorcycle, the first thing you need to do before calling anyone is dial 1-800-INJURIES for locally owned and operated the Zimmerman Law Firm. Hey, this is Big Rich, and the Zimmerman Law Firm has represented thousands of Central Texans in the last 50-plus years and handled more personal injury cases than any other local firm. When you call the Zimmerman Law Firm, you talk to a lawyer, no matter how big or small your case, and they guarantee you're financially taken care of because they only get paid when you win. Hey, don't just take my word for it. Heart of Texas Readers' Choice has named Zimmerman Law Firm the best in Waco. So remember, if you get injured at home, work, or on the road, it just takes one call, y'all, to 1-800-INJURIES or zlawhelp.com for the Zimmerman Law Firm and tell them I told you to call. Principal Office, Waco, Texas. No fee unless you recover.
When you are tired of good enough pizza and want the only authentic Italian quality pizza in town with dough and sauce made fresh daily in-house, vegetables freshly chopped throughout the day, and meats made using the finest beef, pork, and chicken, I present to you locally owned and operated Marco's Pizza. Marco's has 3 convenient locations to serve you, including across from Pirate Stadium in Belle Meade. Feeding the entire family piping hot, authentic Italian fresh pizza, cheesy bread, and dessert tonight is as easy as going to marcos.com or stopping by the newest location in Belle Meade. Marco's Pizza. Say goodbye to just good enough.
Book your next special event at the Belle Meade Civic Center. From quinceañeras to Christmas parties, the Civic Center has room to accommodate your needs. You're planning that special birthday party, having a family reunion, or training seminar. Book now at the Belle Meade Civic Center. And if you need to rent a room for that big event for your family or business function, the Belle Meade Civic Center is what you're looking for. Let their friendly and knowledgeable staff help take some of the hassle out of planning your next event. Call them today at 799-2418 or visit them at the Belle Meade Civic Center, conveniently located near I-35 and Loop 340. No matter if your event's big or small, they've got room for you.
CBS Sports Central Texas, KWBT HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Hood is CBS Sports Central Texas, changing sports radio.
Hello and welcome back into Centex Primetime. I'm your host, Jalen Gillis. Make sure you guys go on to Centex Sports Network and .com. Make sure you subscribe there. Also, go on to YouTube, Centex Sports TV, where you can watch this live feed. Make sure you guys like this stream and also subscribe as well. If you want to listen to this content, go to the Centex Sports 1 app or you can go to centexsports1.com and you can listen to this while you're in your car, while you're at the house. However you want to listen to this, you can catch the action 5 to 7 weekdays, Monday through Thursday. Every single week we'll be right here. Still joined on here by Kyrell Gibson, and I got Two Raw Quay, a.k.a. Quay, on here with me as well. And we're talking a little bit of football. We just got done talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're about to jump right back in to some NFL preseason buzz. Over the last weekend, the New England Patriots have kind of tried to figure out their quarterback situation. I think Jacoby Brissett is going to miss just a little bit of time with an injury. Drake May has played decent football in the preseason, and looks like Gerard Mayo might be leaning that way. He's been talking big about his quarterback, Drake May, taken with the number 3 overall pick in the draft, this last draft, coming out of North Carolina. Played decent, like I said, last week in the preseason game and the week before that. Played pretty good. We know the Patriots really don't have much talent at all joining him out there on the offensive side of the ball, or really the defensive side of the ball. They just got rid of Matthew Judon as well. So Patriots, not sure exactly if they're tanking or what they're going for, but they're under a new regime there at coaching with Gerard Mayo, the former player, taking over there as a head coach for the Hall of Famer Bill Belichick. And looks like what he thinks he's found his QB with that. Still on here with Quay and Kyrell. Kyrell, what do you guys think about this Drake May situation and him potentially being the starter going into this season with the New England Patriots?
Nah, man, Drake May looks good. You know, I didn't think he was ever going to be. Yeah, I didn't think it was ever a doubt that he was going to be probably a week 2, week 3, or week 1 starter. You know, it's possible that Brissett May was going to start apparently, but to me, you gotta I'm very much a proponent of throwing your high draft pick quarterback out there. Just get him over. Peyton Manning looked terrible his first 1.5 years, and I know like there's a situation for quarterback, having to recover from that, but I think you got a third guy out there, really. So I like Drake May, man. He looked good in yesterday's preseason game. He's very decisive. I didn't really get to see any arm talent, that the guy has, but I didn't see any lack of talent either. So he was just very decisive, very, very Tom, like in his later years, was just, hey, like everything's at a cadence almost, even to the release of the ball. So I think they might have a guy in that pick in Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May, like you said, played pretty good through these last couple preseason games. So he's got a little bit of hype building up and a little buzz building up down there in New England. Knows he's got big shoes to fill in. Quay, what do you think about Drake May taking over at quarterback for the Patriots?
Well, to be honest, what options do they have? Even with Jacoby Brissett, they were planning for little brother jumping again. Second of all, I don't believe in Duke quarterbacks. So,
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina. That's what I meant. North Carolina. Who else went to North Carolina?
Sam Howell came out a couple years ago.
Howell.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, they just pick him like randomly. They just come off the board. Not saying he can't be a good quarterback, but one day they just come. Man, he might be the number one draft pick. How? What did he say? What did he?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It seems like every year somebody from North Carolina jumps up in the draft rankings and ends up being one of the top people to get drafted there. Kyrie, were you about to say something about Drake?
Oh, man, Quay hit it right on the nose. It's like they just appear out of nowhere. No game film, no nothing. And it's just like, yeah, this kid might be the second pick in the draft. Mr. Trubisky, Sam Howell, all them dudes just kind of just appeared on the draft board. And I'm just like, man, there ain't been an article about this dude all season in the ACC. And also, I was going to say that, yeah, UNC Duke, that's the same difference, man. Ain't no, you ain't got to specify which one it is.
Same thing, same type of QB coming out. I don't know what the deal is with the North Carolina quarterbacks. I mean, I agree with everything y'all said. That's like every year they find in North Carolina. I don't know if it's just how they look or something, or if they just looking at him and like, man, he looks like he should be a top 10 pick. But every year they get a QB out of North Carolina. Not every year, but every time that they're coming up in that carousel of quarterbacks, one of these North Carolina guys jumps up. I mean, it was the same thing with Mr. Trubisky. I think he barely played any games in college, and they I don't know.
Mr. Trubisky was terrible, and they just said he was just, man, look at him. What are we looking at? He wasn't great in the NFL. Combine, he just had these great. Bro, they just look, and it's just like I realized, it's just one random person that has intel, and everybody just goes after it. Like, man, look, I promise you, just go look at the proof is there. And that man have been on 12 teams.
Yeah, now Trubisky, I think the backup out there in Buffalo. So we'll see how this Drake May thing goes. Gerard Mayo's leaning his way as far as going. We know, I think that first preseason game, Joe Milton had a pretty good game. The quarterback out of Tennessee, he's got a huge arm, but he looks like he still needs some time. He might be a project QB for the Patriots or maybe for somebody else. But
is Christian Gonzalez back?
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez. I just seen a video of him working out. He's going to be back on the defensive side for them.
I think he's going to be big, but I think he's going to be nice. Like, I think he's going to be a nice corner, bro. He got the size. He was having a good season.
Yeah, he was having a good season last year before he got hurt. And, I mean, the Patriots know – I don't know if they're going to run – I'm guessing they're going to run a similar defense like they did with Bill Belichick there, since Mayo comes from up underneath that tree. They always get one of those corners. They know exactly where to put their corners, the scheme they run. They get a guy that can play man-to-man. You're going to play zone most of the time, but you're going to be able to play man-to-man pretty good and kind of shade one side of the field. And they might have that guy there with Christian Gonzalez, but that might be one of the only things they can look forward to on the defense after trading.
And I was just going to say, that was the only thing they could look forward to is Christian Gonzalez. What is it? Like, I can't tell you, bro. I don't know what they're trying to do either. But they, like you said, they're on their new coach, new system. But not necessarily. They just removed the shell and kept the shell and put a new motor in.
Yeah, with Gerard Mayo taking over. So we'll see how the Drake May thing pans out for New England. Staying with a couple of the topics here in the NFL preseason buzz. Let's see here. The Packers just a few hours ago traded for a 7th-round pick for Malik Willis. Not really sure how much of news that is, but so the Malik Willis project is done in Tennessee. I think they're going to roll with Will Levis. Will Levis had some decent moments last year as a starter for the Titans. Malik Willis came in as kind of a project QB. I think he got drafted in the 5th round a few years ago, and really just hasn't got to get his footing in the league. We know he's got speed and he's got a big arm, but outside of that, coming out of Liberty, I mean, it's kind of tough to gauge a guy coming out of a small college like that. But Packers trade for him. I think he could be as a serviceable backup if they can, teach him or show him the ropes there in Green Bay. And they always do this with their backup quarterbacks. I think they probably have, if not the best, one of the best QB systems in the league with how they draft their QBs and make them wait and sit behind the guy who is the guy at the time. And they got Jordan Love right now. They just paid him, and Malik Willis coming in now. Yeah, go ahead, Quay. What do you think about this Malik Willis thing?
They the best at what they do. They know what they're doing. I don't think it was a chess move, more probably for the organization of Tennessee to get off of the speculation of who is going to be the guy. They had to make a decision about the guy. You can't keep them both. I think for Green Bay, they just keep their options open with the quarterback room. He can learn. He's young. Similar type of style. The quarterback room will just be solid, and they know how to keep things afloat. They're just prepping themselves for anything that can happen.
Yeah, I agree. You're just one QB injury away from being 2-14 or 17 games now, 2-15, and they don't want to do that. They feel like if they can get Willis in there for a year, maybe even 2 years, he'll be a serviceable backup if something does happen to Jordan Love. You never know with the NFL, so you always want to have that good backup to be prepared. Kyrell, any thoughts about the Malik Willis trade going to Green Bay?
Malik Willis, he really hasn't shown as much since he came into the league. Kind of just always been in that project state. And I get it, Tennessee wasn't probably the most ideal situation for a quarterback. But being traded to Green Bay, it makes me think about that situation. I don't know how long ago it was now, but of a backup quarterback, coming in after, their invested quarterback, their star quarterback goes down or misses some games. And now you got a backup quarterback getting paid. So yeah. I'm thinking about Matt Flynn all those years ago. He came in and lit it up behind Aaron Rodgers. And this franchise, man, hey, they've done it right for 20 years now. Took Brett Favre, handed the keys to Aaron Rodgers, had Aaron Rodgers, handed the keys to Jordan Love. And now he had a good playoff game against the boys on the road. And that's they might have found a guy there. So if Malik Willis can come in and be Matt Flynn, throw for 400 yards, get him a little contract, I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely, because he's not going to get paid going the route that he's going right now. He wasn't looking too great in a couple opportunities he got with Tennessee. So if he goes here, change the scenery. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. He knows he can get him some easy open throws. We've seen that with Jordan Love, even though Jordan Love's probably going to be a baller. So Malik Willis, better chance of doing something there than in Tennessee for sure. More preseason news on here. Nick Chubb expected to miss the first 4 games of the season with the knee injury. Definitely hoping for a speedy recovery there. It just seems like the Browns, they just can't. They've got all this talent. They just haven't been able to put it together yet. Every time it's somebody getting hurt. Last year, Deshaun Watson got hurt and Nick Chubb got hurt. This year, they were coming in expecting to be healthy. They've got a new receiver room. They still got Amari Cooper there, who looked great last year, but they added Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore from the Jets. So they've got a new QB room, but once again, Nick Chubb going to miss some time. It's only 4 games this time. Hopefully, he can come back. Fully recovered in Week 5 after missing those games. What do y'all think about the Nick Chubb news? And then Rick Kyrell, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to feel like we're missing his prime. He's been out a lot early in his career. And I'm worried that we're gonna miss a potential, a player that probably potentially could have been a great in his, in his era. Cause Nick Chubb was a beast, man. Like that dude, I don't even know what
Monster.
to tell you, man. Like that dude, at no point in time, if he's on the field, like it's rare that I'm like, okay, there's a better back on the other side, on the other team. So the fact that he just can't stay healthy right now, it's kind of like bummer. It's a bummer, really.
Yeah, I agree. Quay, what do you think about the Nick Chubb news and how the Cleveland Browns looking going into the season?
Man, bro, you just need to go and retire, bro. Nah, I'm saying like honestly, bro, when your body just like some people's body just don't sustain with the football. Like sometimes your body's telling you to stop, bro. Injuries just keep happening. Like, bro, as a person that haven't really just been injured before, I just be looking like it seems like it happens to the same person.
Yeah.
I just be like, bro, is your body's telling you something? The Browns are just a case from. They do have a great talent. They do have top defenders. They have some great. Dude, I love their receiver room. Me personally, I think Amari Cooper is the game changer. Then you go add the other two. They're just crazy work. I think the Suns gonna have a good year. I think they don't have a bad year, even though bro gonna be hurt. I just that injury, bro. Like you can't even make it through training camp. Is crazy.
Yeah, I mean that hurts. Like you said, they got a squad. They really got a squad over there. Like in Cleveland, Deshaun Watson. It really all depends on can he play good or not. If they just get a serviceable back in there, like they've been able to do the last couple years, they'll be decent. But Nick Chubb just takes them over the edge. If Deshaun Watson can play good, they got a new receiver room in there. They always got one of the better O lines in the league. Still got the best defensive player in the league with Myles Garrett, in my opinion. On that side, you got a great secondary led by Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome over there. So they've got pieces, and they've had pieces the last few years. It's just will they be able to put it together? Before we go to break, I want to bring up one more news topic in preseason, NFL preseason buzz. This one will be good for all of you Cowboys fans. Daniel Jones hasn't looked too great in the preseason. We just talked about the North Carolina / Duke quarterbacks. Daniel Jones didn't look so great in the preseason. Going into this regular season, the Giants went the entire preseason without throwing a touchdown pass. The entire preseason, nobody out there threw a touchdown pass. If they scored a touchdown, it was from something else, a running back, a running play, something. No touchdown passes from the New York Giants in preseason. Daniel Jones, I mean, I don't know what to say about this guy. The Giants, we talked about the Cowboys organization. The Giants organization, some might feel is better or worse. I think it's under there, even though they got the 2 rings from the Cowboys. I think they're below the Cowboys because sometimes the decision-making just doesn't make any sense. You paid Daniel Jones almost $100 million. You let Saquon Barkley walk because you said he wanted too much. Now Daniel Jones is coming back. They draft a receiver every year. They just drafted Malik Neighbors, who was a dog and is probably going to be cold. But you go the whole preseason, don't throw a touchdown pass. What does it say about Daniel Jones, fellas, going into this regular season? Quay, we can start with you. What does it say about
Bro, like we gotta speak on how terrible organizations are ran. Because we watch other great organizations, no matter what season the 49ers have, they'll put together a good season. Injuries, bad year, quarterback, it doesn't matter because their organization is ran well. The New York Giants let Saquon Barkley walk for some crackers and beans. And then proceed to pay their quarterback who hasn't. They drafted for no reason as well. He's another one of those quarterbacks.
no reason?
Nobody can understand why they drafted him. Nobody else wanted him. If he's done right there, he will never, bro. Like, I'm just saying, like, these things have to be stopped and they have to be documented. Like, we're talking about an organization that has no direction. What are the Giants' directions right now?
I have no idea what the Giants' direction is. They went and picked up a couple pieces on the defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, I guess they're trying to do something. They go and get Brian Burns and to bring him with Kayvon Thibodeau, who's a dog last year, but not exactly sure where they're going at all with this. Kyrell, jump in on here. What do you think? I know you're a Cowboys fan, so you always got your opinions about the Giants. What does this say about Daniel Jones going forward and how the preseason, how they look so far?
Oh, man, what it says about, you don't say nothing about Daniel Jones, we don't already know. Like, it ain't gonna work. It never has. I don't know what's wrong with that boy, man. It's just like he can't hold on to the football for nothing. And the fact that they chose Saquon. I mean, they chose Daniel Jones over Saquon. Just lets you know the direction of, like, I might say a lot of things about the Cowboys, man. You know, we probably ain't the most about, but I do appreciate the fact that at least they'll let us get 11, 12 games. They not winning nothing over there since 2012, man. It's been bad, you know. And I'm just not. I don't know what he's gonna do as far as he probably needs the Malik Willis package and just needs to go, you know, be a backup behind somebody for some years because it's not a. He's just not a guy like that, man. And it's
He's
know,
gonna
I'm
be
happy
32.
That's fine. Well, what you want him to do? Sell cars? He got to play football, man.
No, after this contract, he's definitely gonna sell lawnmowers. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, come on, Kyle. Like, bro, how he doesn't even try to get better. My thing about it is, what is he doing in the? What I'm saying, what is he doing in the offseason? Like, I'm asking because when we talk about direction, I can see where teams are trying to go. Now, you may feel trying to go in that direction, but you're still going there. We can see what you're doing. I don't know. They're not even trying to win the division.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the Giants are doing at all. What direction they're going into. You pay Daniel Jones. You don't pay Saquon. The best thing that's happened to your franchise. We know how the Odell situation went whenever they had Odell. So not sure exactly what the Giants are doing at all. But I think that's kind of the usual of what we expect with the Giants. Folks, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back for hour number two. Hour number two, we're going to talk a little bit more football with NFL, but we're going to jump into some high school football. We're going to jump into some college football as well. We're going to be joined by PJ Gaither. He's going to jump on here with us. Stay right here, folks. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Centex Primetime on Centex Sports Network.
When you suffer an injury at home, work, or on the road involving a car, 18-wheeler, or motorcycle, the first thing you need to do before calling anyone is dial 1-800-INJURIES for locally owned and operated the Zimmerman Law Firm. Hey, this is Big Rich, and the Zimmerman Law Firm has represented thousands of Central Texans in the last 50-plus years and handled more personal injury cases than any other local firm. When you call the Zimmerman Law Firm, you talk to a lawyer, no matter how big or small your case, and they guarantee you're financially taken care of because they only get paid when you win. Hey, don't just take my word for it. Heart of Texas Reader's Choice has named Zimmerman Law Firm the best in Waco. So remember, if you get injured at home, work, or on the road, it just takes one call, y'all, to 1-800-INJURIES or zlawhelp.com for the Zimmerman Law Firm and tell them I told you to call. Principal Office, Waco, Texas. No fee unless you recover. Book your next special event at the Bell Mead Civic Center. From quinceañeras to Christmas parties, the Civic Center has room to accommodate your needs. You're planning that special birthday party, having a family reunion, or training seminar. Book now at the Bell Mead Civic Center. And if you need to rent a room for that big event for your family or business function, the Bell Mead Civic Center is what you're looking for. Let their friendly and knowledgeable staff help take some of the hassle out of planning your next event. Call them today at 799-2418 or visit them at the Bell Mead Civic Center, conveniently located near I-35 and Loop 340. No matter if your event's big or small, they've got room for you.
When you are tired of good enough pizza and want the only authentic Italian quality pizza in town, with dough and sauce made fresh daily in-house, vegetables freshly chopped throughout the day, and meats made using the finest beef, pork, and chicken, I present to you locally owned and operated Marco's Pizza. Marco's has 3 convenient locations to serve you, including across from Pirate Stadium in Belle Meade. Feeding the entire family piping hot, authentic Italian fresh pizza, cheesy bread, and dessert tonight is as easy as going to marcos.com or stopping by the newest location in Belle Meade. Marco's Pizza. Say goodbye to just good enough.
CBS Sports Central Texas, KWBT HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Hood is CBS Sports Central Texas, changing sports radio.
Folks, welcome back. We are here, hour number 2 for Centex Primetime. We've been talking about some NFL football and the preseason buzz, what's been going on. But here joined now with PJ Gaither as well. He's going to jump in on the conversation with us. PJ, what's going on? Can you hear me on here?
Yeah, for sure. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Want to get your opinion before we move on and go to some high school or some college football about some of the things we were talking about on here with Kyrell and Quay as well. Jerry Jones came out with a statement. I know you feel strongly about Jerry Jones, came out with a statement and pretty much, to sum it up, just said that He doesn't care what anybody's got to say about him. He is going to be the GM for the Cowboys. He says nobody else is equipped to do this job. He is the only one that can come out here and do what it does for the Cowboys. What do you think about Jerry Jones' statements and what he had to say about him being the GM?
He really didn't say anything to me that that wasn't already known to the public. I really do believe that he believes every word that he said, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything that he said. I don't feel like that he's the only person equipped with being the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, because well before him, we had someone else who was the GM, and he did a great job as well. I feel like the job to be a GM of the Dallas Cowboys or any team, it can be anyone who is, equipped to do the job, and I feel like he's only saying that honestly today because he came out and, they paid CD the $136 million for 4 years. And so he kind of feeling himself, but I don't really feel any type of way with what he said. I mean, I still feel how I feel about him. I personally feel that he does hold us back. Like, he holds us back a lot. There's a lot of teams that you don't really get to see their owners always in the interviews and in the media, but when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, you see him more than you'll see the head coach. You see him the same amount that you probably see star players on the team, which it shouldn't be like that personally. Yeah. But the Cowboys, like me and you spoke about this a few weeks ago, and I told you, like, they're pretty much the Lakers of the NFL at this point.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of headlines, not a lot of football-related headlines, unfortunately.
Winning.
Yeah, winning. Yeah, that's the main part. Not a lot of winning when it comes to the next level of winning. I ain't gonna say not a lot of winning like they're the Giants we were just talking about with Daniel Jones, but not a lot of winning when you're talking about going to that next level with them. PJ, while we got you on here, man, let's talk about this CD thing. He just signed, inked the contract, the second highest contract for a non-QB NFL history. He's got 100 M's guaranteed. 136 total, I think a $38 million signing bonus. What does this mean for the Cowboys going forward and how they were able to ink CD to this deal?
Well, we finally got our star player that's going to be able to come and start practicing with us. He got a little bit of 2 weeks, I think, to get ready before the season opener. So in that time, I'm sure he's going to be really working hard with Dak just to make sure everything's pretty crisp going into the season opener and making sure that, we don't have any bad, juju on us or anything. But I'm honestly happy. I'm glad to see that we finally paid him. I hate that it took this long. I would have honestly liked him to get paid, honestly, a month ago at this point.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, we got it done. So I can't really say anything else besides, I'm just happy that it happened. I'm honestly looking forward to seeing how the offense is going to look, just because, I'm big on players making it to OTA, making it to training camp, just so that you can, you got to get into rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not really big on you coming, and it's not his fault, but I'm not really big on you, coming back when it's 2 weeks before the season opener. I don't think that it's going to be a big problem. Dak and CD, they have a great connection, and they're professionals, bro. So I think they're going to be okay going into the season opener. But it's just something that I want to keep in the back of my mind, just in case something does. If we do start out slow going into the season, that could possibly be one of the reasons as to why we're starting out slow. But I'm honestly happy. I'm happy for CD. He is well deserved. And so, kudos to CD, man. He finally got that money.
Yeah, he finally went and got the bag. He's been waiting on it, like you said, well deserved, especially after the season that he had last year. So we'll be expecting to hear a lot more from the Cowboys. They make headlines every day, so we'll have plenty to talk about on the Cowboys right here on Centex Primetime. Make sure you guys are going on to YouTube and subscribing. Centex Sports Network, or Centex Sports TV on YouTube. You can check us out on the website, CentexSportsNetwork.com, or you can go and listen to this feed on CentexSports1.com or download the app Centex Sports 1 on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store. So here with PJ Gaither, also still joined by Kyrell and Quay here with me. We're going to talk briefly on a little bit of high school football, man. High school football season is getting started here in Central Texas and all over the country, but it's definitely kicking off this weekend here in Central Texas. All three of you guys got to play high school football, and you know how these teams operate here in Waco. Football is huge. Really want to talk about who is going to be that next team to take over the mantle as best team in Waco. It shifts from year to year. Got a chance to go to see the La Vega versus Waco High scrimmage last week. A lot of people were talking about that on Facebook and other social media outlets. A lot of people not pleased about how it went. To just be blunt with it, La Vega beat the brakes off Waco High. They made Waco High look like a 2A school, and La Vega looked like they were a 6A school or something when it comes to playing against Waco High. They're still trying to get their program turned around there at Waco High. We know they have probably the most tradition or the biggest football history out of all the schools in Waco, definitely with how they performed in the late 80s and going into the 90s and somewhat in the early 2000s. But a lot of teams around here looking to have a good season this coming up season. La Vega looking to bounce back. They're going to have a good year this year. You can catch all that action on right here on 94.5 The Beat or 94.5 Magic. They'll be having all their broadcasts on this radio station for the rest of the year. So La Vega football will be featured here. They won 7-5 last year, but we know that's not really up to La Vega standards as how they, especially over the last 10 years, how much they've been winning. They look like they've got a squad coming into this next year. China Spring is they've had some tremendous success, especially in the last 5 or 6 years with winning state. They've had a lot of good players come through there. A lot of good players graduated, though, last year. They had an 8-4 record last year, but this year it's going to be a new look on their offense, especially trying to replace their QB that's off in North Texas right now, and they're replacing a lot of talent around them. Lorena last year went 11-3. They had a good season as well. They'll be expecting some more big things. They've got Jackson Blackwell, the D tackle that's committed to Baylor. They've got some guys out there. They've got another Air Force commit with them. Mart, 15-1 last year, probably the most consistent program in Central Texas and really one of the best programs in Texas football history, honestly, when you're talking about how much they've won over the last year. PJ, what are some teams you're excited to see or a team you're excited to see in Central Texas talking about high school football here? What are some of the teams you're excited to watch?
I got about 3 schools. So University, they're number one for me. Man, they're deep.
Yeah,
that team is deep. I mean, on both sides of the ball. They got the 5-star, in London. Then they got a few 4-stars, 3-stars. They got guys on the team that got offers from certain schools that I'm like, man.
Oh yeah,
they're going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Mart, of course, I'm sure they're trying to bounce back from last year, losing in the state championship. And then, honestly, Marlin. Marlin's
going to have a squad this year.
Yeah, they're going to have a squad this year. They got the new head coach. I mean, he was already a part of the regime and everything. But Jeff Rogers, I think he's doing a really good job. I've watched some clips of them already, and they're looking pretty good. They honestly feel that even with how they did last year, that they could have done better. And they really didn't lose too many players. So this team is pretty much the same team from last year. So they're going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to seeing Marlin, University, and Mart, honestly.
Yeah, all 3 of those teams are going to be primed for some good seasons, and especially University did not want to leave them out. K'Ron Johnson is doing a great job down there at the U of turning that program around. We know they had some pretty abysmal seasons in the past, but they've turned that all the way around in South Waco, and University is going to be looking like a team to beat this year, if not the best team in Waco. I think they have a shot of competing for that crown, really, between them and La Vega.
I honestly feel like they're already the best team in Waco. To be honest, I feel like they already are. They got a lot of star power on their team. That team, man, it's a lot of people don't really. I don't think a lot of people outside of just like University the people who are like alumni and everything really just been paying attention to them. But University is going to be really good. They're going to surprise a lot of people in the city this year. So if people haven't already been tuning into them, they need to really start paying attention to this University squad. They're going to be really good.
Yeah, I agree. The U got some big things coming this year for their football team. Like we said, shout out to Coach Johnson. Want to get you on the show as soon as we can. Quay, want to go to you on this, man. Still talking about this high school football. What are some teams you're excited to see play this coming up year, and what do you think about that La Vega Waco High scrimmage? I know you've seen all the chit chat that was going back and forth on Facebook and on some of the other apps about this La Vega and Waco High scrimmage last week. So what do you think about that? And then what are some teams you're excited to see coming up this year in high school football?
Man, I really like University. It's just because of the rebuild. Like the rebuild that they went through, they really literally broke everything up, went through the ugly build and like rebuilt a organization. I really like University. I like what Conley do. Conley just go grab a 5-star, have him sitting over there.
Yep.
I like how Conley operate. Conley just gonna have code once they put it out. Because I think Conley been 2-3 pieces away from making classic runs. They had good teams when we played them when we was coming. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of players in defense, offense. They just have 2-3 great players. Like, and then eight or nine who are y'all. But the Waco High La Vega game, bro, it's 10 years overdue. La Vega beat the brakes off of them folks, as they should. But it's just, I can't even say it's better coaching right now, but it was definitely better coaching. La Vega get those kids that are essentially would be at a Waco High University. We get a lot of transfers. We get a lot of East Waco kids because of the barrier at East Waco and Bellmead, and people don't understand that. So those talents that those kids are getting would be from La Vega to, you know what I'm saying? My mom went to Waco High, so I probably would have been at Waco High, but we went to La Vega. So, you know, like, the talent is there. They'll maybe get more size or more people. But the skill position, all of the boys that go to La Vega can play at other schools. Like, they good. So people not seeing it. But, you know, I'm gonna talk trash, but I ain't got no dog in this fight. They ain't throw me the ball. So I ain't speaking on them, but I don't think none of them better than me. But that's just me, you know. We had that debate, you know. But I just think the Waco High University game, the Waco High and the Vega game was way overdue. And I'm glad it was a scrimmage because if that was going to be the game, it was going to get wicked. The Vega don't care about being up 60
at all. It was, that game that could have got out of hand, like you said, if that was a game. And I definitely agree. La Vega Waco High should have been a game, even though this was just a scrimmage. Should have been a game years ago. Those two are long overdue in playing each other. Kyrell, want to get your opinion on, like we said, some of these teams in Waco and some of these teams in Central Texas. Who are you looking forward to watching this coming up season?
So that university squad, you know, having all that star power and then the high touted recruits that they do have coming out this year, it's just looking like, you know, that's probably going to be the team to watch in Waco. And it's kind of funny how, like, the talent that's in that area, it seems to, like, just one school will have a real strong run of just production and getting some real athletes out into this to the next level, and then it kind of rotates to the next school. You know, it seems like it don't skip Waco High for the last couple of years, but they in La Vega, University now. La Vega really had a time when close to we were back in high school, and you know it was probably midway during our center, but it's just I really want to just really applaud tenure. You know the time there.
Tenure.
Yeah. Tenure.
All right, my bad, brother. I just gotta help you out.
Appreciate that. You
said you're a tenor. Okay, my bad.
Hey, church boys, man. But yeah, the talent seems to rotate every year in Waco. So I'm just really I really want to salute the city and everybody that had a hand in getting that game together, even though it turned out ugly this year. And we can clearly see there's a talent disparity between the two schools. But it's good to have just like an all city, all area, just kind of football game and competition because with these schools, playing, I think do University and Waco High still play each other in that season?
Yeah, they still play each other.
Well, yeah, it needs to be, more competition within the city because there's a lot of. It seems like one school will hoard it per couple of years, but it's still nice to see, man. Like the Vega, Waco High, throw Midway in there, even though they've been. I don't know what they're doing playing in Canadian football for time. But it's good to see, man. The Vega has really, put out some talent these last couple of years, man, and Midway as well. And we just need Waco High to probably get on board. I haven't seen too many players coming out of there, but this is what it takes. This is how you breed that. Once you get the city, you get these rivalries going amongst the schools in the cities. That's how talent gets brought up, because then that trickles down to the Pee Wee level and and then you start seeing just better competition. Breed pressure makes diamonds, man. Really is what I'm trying to say. But so rivalries are good. I'm happy to see that game is happening and going to continue hopefully.
Yeah, that game will still be happening. University is going to get the chance to play China Spring at home too, at WISD. So that's going to be a huge game. I definitely am going to try to sneak away from the studio for a little bit and try to catch some of that game. But like you said, three of us on here went to Midway. I want to talk a little bit about Midway because they are my alma mater and they've been on a down past few years. But I like the new coaching hire with Joe Gillespie. He's come from the college ranks and he's coming back down. He was the head coach of Stephenville for a while. Had some really good teams there at Stephenville. Went to college for the last few years, and now he's back on the Midway staff. So looking for big things for Midway too, man. I like what they're building there, and want to see them be able to get back. Want to see them be able to get back to what they were in the time that when me and you were in high school, Kyrell and PJ, when y'all were in high school. I think their last state championship appearance was in 2018 or 19, and half the dudes on that team are in the league right now. So shout out Midway for sure. And the stuff that they have building out there. Definitely want to shout out my nephew as well, who's playing on the Midway team. He made the varsity team this year. He'll be out there, Jacoby Hamilton at receiver, so be on the lookout for him. Definitely want to give him a shout out.
5.
Yeah, he got the 85 like Ocho Cinco. So hopefully that give him a little magic in the feet as well.
Old Jacoby.
Yeah, he got 85. That's pretty loud to get that number. Before we get off the high school football tip, I want to get a small debate going as far as what are some of the best teams that, since we'll say our era, guys. I know, we got folks on here that's going to chime in and say that, the 86 Waco High team and all that. What are some of the best teams that you've seen in Waco in the last, I guess, 20 years? It's 2024, the last 20 years since we've been watching high school football in Waco. Quay, we'll start with you. What's some of the best teams that you've seen out of Waco?
I don't care, bro. We didn't ever have me coming from going to La Vega from 3rd grade on. I could say in the last from 7th, probably 5th grade on, I've never seen a bad La Vega team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a year that we had they were just terrible. What's crazy is my senior year probably was one of the worst years we had. We still had a good year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying everybody else I watch, because China Spring is one of them teams that's always sneaky good. Nobody say everybody think, oh, China Spring, bro. Waco High University, they gonna have a game plan in them. Them boys good. People don't see it. Oh, they can play in Lorena. What?
Yeah, Lorena.
You're not seeing that these teams is good. Them teams is weirdly good. How you I don't know, bro. But watching La Vega football, I just haven't seen them have a gap of just bad years. So I think the run that I've seen in La Vega, but I like Midway because they had great talent that you can speak on. La Vega just had good teams. It's just a bunch of good dudes on one team, not just crazy superstars. but like all these other schools get 5-star recruits and crazy names. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like La Vega not pushing out too many 5-star recruits. They pushing out a lot of good athletes.
Yeah,
They'll push out 10 dudes that's gonna go to school to play ball, but they ain't pushing out no 4 or 5-star. You know what I'm saying? I think the only 5-star they had was what, Peacock,
yeah, legend.
4-star, whatever he for. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, and what was Kedrick,
Yeah,
Jalen?
yeah. They end up
You know
going
what
to
I'm
Bama.
saying? So you know what I'm saying? You can tell the names though, but you can say all these great La Vega teams.
No, that's facts. La Vega is always one of those teams, like you said. They ain't been sorry. Every year they're going to be in that conversation for having a good team, and like you said, a lot of super talented guys have come out of that La Vega program, especially since. I mean, really all the time, but over the last
Yeah, all the time.
20 years for sure. I mean, they don't have some crazy talent come out of there. PJ, what are some of the best teams that you've seen in this Waco area? If you can think back on some of the years, some of the best teams, high school football teams that you've seen come out this area.
You talking so from 2004 to now?
Yeah, just really since you've been watching high school football like that. Some of the teams that you got to see.
That's hard, but I think I got about 3.
Okay.
I'll say 2006, 2007 Waco High team that went 13-3.
Cool.
Ended up going to the state championship and losing. That team was deep. I got a cousin actually, my cousin Braxton. He played on that team. That team was, man. They were like that.
They were a
like
problem.
that. If I'm not mistaken, I think Salubi.
Yep.
The Salubi was on that team?
Yeah, Salubi was at back.
That team was hard. That 2006 Waco High team, they was pretty good. When it comes to La Vega, man, I just think about so many teams throughout the years. Kind of like what Quay was saying, man, it's so many teams throughout the years for La Vega that I can't really even just pinpoint. I can easily just say the 2015, 2016 team that won state with Parrish. And I could pick that team, but at the same time, even whenever we was in high school, I even told them that same year, I was like, man, I'm proud of y'all, but at the same time, I know that there are so many teams before y'all that could have won state, but I just personally felt that
Man, they ain't gonna talk about that.
It came down through the coaching to me. Like 2012, that 2012 La Vega team, they lost against, who was that? Was that Chapel Hill or Abilene Wiley? That was Abilene Wiley.
Yeah, it was nice.
That team, that 2012 La Vega team was hard. They had like 4 running backs. They rabid. They had like 4 running backs, bro. That team, I think they ended up being ranked number 2, and they lost against Abilene Wiley, who was number 1 at the time. That 2012 La Vega team was really good. And then I got to put Midway in there, man. Just like La Vega, we got a lot of teams that could have got it done. I mean, most people probably say that 2011 team, but if you let me tell it, I feel like the 2012 team was better than the 2011 team.
2012
and the
team
only
was
reason why
nice.
I say that is because it was better than the 2011 team. It's just that 2012 was a different year as far as like how the bracket fell for us. The bracket kind of didn't fall in our favor.
Yeah, we was in a higher division.
2012.
We went to 5A.
We was in a higher division. Yeah, we went to 5A. So, but even then though, we lost against Cedar Hill. And at that time, they had Quincy Attaboy, Joe. They had a lot of guys on that Cedar Hill team. They had some dogs, but if I'm not mistaken, we only lost by like 1 point.
Yeah, we lost by a 1 possession game for sure.
It was like 1 possession. So the 2012, dang, that's crazy. I'm saying 2012 twice. So Midway 2012 and La Vega 2012. But also, I go with the 2018 or my sophomore year of high school 2014 Midway team who lost against Spring, because at that time we were like ranked number 3, bro. I think only Allen and Dallas Skyline was ahead of us.
Yeah, that team was loaded.
We lost at Spring. Bro, we lost against Spring. You remember the game?
I remember.
I'm kind of still upset about this.
I remember the game.
Dude was kicked the field goal. We literally had a kicker that was going to Texas Tech. Dude was kicking 60 yards at practice. Coach makes what's my boy, man? Ben Hicks.
Yeah.
made him throw a Hail Mary. Man, the ball fell right into the safety arms, and it was game. That team was supposed to win state that year, or at least get to state in 5A Division II, and possibly play probably Katy or
I think they were gonna play Katy
or Cedar Hills. Yeah, they're probably gonna play Katy that year. We are gonna have to get through Cedar Hills to end up getting to state to play Katy. And I felt personally that we would have got through Cedar Hill that year. We had a lot of good guys in the 2018 Midway. I mean, like you were saying earlier, a lot of them guys are in the league right now. LaDion, Travis Thomason. So
facts.
That 2018 team, they just happened to run against a very good Cy-Fair team. And Cy-Fair, man, now that I go back and look at it, they just had a very good game plan. No one really ran the ball at that Midway team the way they did. And I think it kind of shocked Midway at that time, because you had guys like Jackson who was in the middle, man, and it really wasn't too many teams that would even dare run the ball through the middle right there against them, because you had too many guys that were just going to clog the gaps up. And so Cy-Fair was one of the teams that they had good O-line who could get pushed, who can, they can push. And that's what they did, man. Now I look back at that state game, that's pretty much all they did, man. They ran the ball. They ran the ball all over Midway that day. And even with guys trying to, make the comeback as the game was going, they just got down too fast and too early. And so it was kind of too late by the time they started, breaking all the records that they broke that day.
Yeah, it was a little bit too little too late that time. They came back, a great comeback in that game, but couldn't pull that one out. But a lot of those teams, I'm agreeing with you, man. A lot of those teams was cold and definitely had chances to win state. Kyrell, what are some of the best teams that you've seen come out of this Waco area since you've been watching high school football down here?
Yeah, so I haven't really been watching, as long as some people that are in the area, man. But for me, like team-wise, we've always had like kind of individual talents come out. But team-wise, I really do that. And I'm probably a little biased, man, but I just feel like that Gamble era of Midway Panther football,
facts.
we probably weren't getting touched in the city. I know Waco High got the last little victory over those guys, but we had a quarterback situation going on, and that was also the year we went to state and played Baker Mayfield. So
facts.
I kind of feel like that's like a one-off, like they just kind of got the.
It was a lucky game, man. Lucky game.
Yeah, God helped him out with that one, man. Like, shout out Fred Flintstone, man. But but yeah, those 2010 to about 2013 Midway teams were just, we were hanging with the best of them. University was down in the Valley of Shadow of Death, and all that stuff. So we didn't have to worry about them. And the same thing kind of happened to Waco High in our years post, us not playing them anymore. And I kind of feel like, Waco needs that competition, man, because it seems like the Waco schools, like the real in-city Waco schools or University, Waco High, they kind of lost that fire once we all stopped playing each other.
Vega, bro.
Yeah, and that's true. Like
Vega, bro.
That talent went, and that's what that's the proof is in the pudding with that one too. Because what happened? La Vega immediately started going to state. I don't know if they were there prior and before. I got there 7th grade, so it wasn't. I don't know what they're doing prior to that, but it seems like the talent and the results immediately started going La Vega's way. So there's always talent in Waco, really in Central Texas too, but especially in Waco. It's just where the kids going. That's why I've always say, man, there's Waco probably has one too many high schools to be the football powerhouse that it could be in Waco. If there was just if one of those schools just went away, even like the La Vegas and why not? Because if all the La Vega kids went to Waco High University,
a lot of people wouldn't play. So what I'm saying about it is, bro, it's good, bro. They literally break up the schools like that on purpose. So you saying if Dallas did the same thing, DeSoto and Duncanville would be one school. They would never lose.
True. But,
you know what I'm saying? Like it breaks up for a reason. But what really messed up a lot of things was open enrollment, and Little League sports became a real big thing. Little League sports are like recruiting, like going through this process with my little cousin, like it's really a big thing. They're priming these kids and prepping these kids to know what school they're going to, high school at, what program they're eating at. This is going to be on 5 or 6 years old. Now you're seeing that where the coach lines are connected. This coach works for this high or went to this high school, so he started a little league team and he's under this. You know what I'm saying? It's all connected.
Yes.
And Waco High doesn't have that outlet. Who did they send out in the neighborhood to start the little league team and get the boys from the neighborhood to play just here and prep them for junior high? And then they have too many junior highs in Waco High. I mean, WISD. It's a lot.
Yeah. No, I agree. All of that is definitely a huge part of it. And some of those, like you said, the schools are split up for a reason. Some of those schools could go together. I mean, Conley and La Vega are so close to each other. If over the last 10 years, if the schools would have been combined, some serious teams could have came out of there with the talent that Conley's had over the last 5-6 years, plus the talent La Vega's had, like we said, the last 10-15 years. Both of those teams could have been crazy, but looking forward to a lot of good football in Central Texas, and especially here in Waco, as high school football season is right around the corner, starting this weekend on Friday. I think all the high schools will be kicking off, and I'm definitely excited to see what these high school teams have in store. Everybody's starting with a clean slate. Everybody's 0-0. Nobody's got a win or a loss yet, so excited to see how these teams can go forward and how they'll build on this going into the season. And we'll be connected to these high schools as the season progresses. We'll get some of these coaches in here and talk to them so you can hear it from their perspective on what they want to do. Folks, want to thank everybody who's been watching with us as we're about 25 minutes away from the close of the show. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back to you guys. And when we come back, we are going to talk some college football. Not only high school season starting this weekend, but college football is kicking off for real this weekend. I know they had some games last weekend, and we'll talk about that as well. But we'll jump into some college football, so stay right here, folks. You're watching Centex Primetime on Centex Sports Network and Centex Sports 1. We will be right back.
Book your next special event at the Bell Mead Civic Center. From quinceañeras to Christmas parties, the Civic Center has room to accommodate your needs. You're planning that special birthday party, having a family reunion, or training seminar. Book now at the Bell Mead Civic Center. Now, if you need to rent a room for that big event for your family or business function, the Bell Mead Civic Center is what you're looking for. Let their friendly and knowledgeable staff help take some of the hassle out of planning your next event. Call them today at 799-2418 or visit them at the Bell Mead Civic Center, conveniently located near I-35 and Loop 340. No matter if your event's big or small, they've got room for you.
When you are tired of good enough pizza and want the only authentic Italian quality pizza in town, with dough and sauce made fresh daily in-house, vegetables freshly chopped throughout the day, and meats made using the finest beef, pork, and chicken, I present to you locally owned and operated Marco's Pizza. Marco's has 3 convenient locations to serve you, including across from Pirate Stadium in Belle Meade. Feeding the entire family piping hot, authentic Italian fresh pizza, cheesy bread, and dessert tonight is as easy as going to marcos.com or stopping by the newest location in Belle Meade. Marco's Pizza. Say goodbye to just good enough.
CBS Sports Central Texas, KWBT HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Hood is CBS Sports Central Texas, changing sports radio.
Welcome back into Centex Primetime right here on CentexSports1.com and Centex Sports Network. Here joined still by PJ Gaither. Got Kyrell in here with me too, and Quay as well. Want to thank these guys for jumping on the show with me today. And before we get out of here, folks, last 20 minutes of the show, we want to talk about some college football. We can start it off with the headline from this past weekend. Number 10 Florida State comes in and lays an egg in Dublin, Ireland, while the whole world is watching. They were ranked number 10 in the nation, and they fall to Georgia Tech, up-and-coming Georgia Tech team. I definitely want to give them that credit. They gave them a great game, but they signed the QB in the transfer portal, DJU. I can't say his last name. I don't want to mess it up here, but everybody knows who you're talking about. As a quarterback that just came over, it started out at Clemson, then he went to Oregon State, and now he is at Florida State, and had a very underwhelming performance. I think I seen the air time that the ball traveled was like negative -0.8 yards per pass or something like that. Completed a lot of passes, but took dink and dunk to an entirely different level. And Florida State was projected, as usual, to come out, especially after last year. I'm not going to say they thought they were robbed. They were robbed. They went undefeated and didn't make it into the college football playoffs. I know they didn't have their quarterback, but you can't ask them to do much else there. So you would think that coming out this week, they want to make a statement. They're playing in Dublin, Ireland, in front of the whole world, taking on Georgia Tech. No other football being played on a national scale like that. So they want to come out and make a statement, and they come out here and lay an egg, man. They ranked number 10. They dropped the game to Georgia Tech. PJ, I'll start with you, man. What do you got to say about this game that we just watched, this Florida State and their quarterback, and losing to Georgia Tech to open the season?
Well, I've never really been sold on DJ Uiagalelei. Like, even in high school, I was more of a what's the other guy that went to Matter Day? Bryce.
Yeah, he was.
I was more on Bryce. I was more on than I was DJ for sure coming out of high school. For some reason, I just always felt like he didn't have the upside to me. Even though in high school at St. John Bosco, I mean, he was incredible. Some say he was possibly the best quarterback in high school that they've ever seen. I wouldn't go that far, but because I mean, we've watched a lot of guys like Kyler Murray, you know, in high school, so I wouldn't go that far. But he was really, really good at St. John Bosco. I just personally felt that he just didn't have the upside going into college. And it's shown. I mean, it's shown at 3 colleges now. I mean, he started off at Clemson, transferred to Oregon State last year. Kind of was a rocky season for him. It was kind of up and down. And then now you see at Florida State. But for some reason going into the season, I just thought that Florida State was going to be able to come out with the win. Going against Georgia Tech in the season opener, I didn't even really second guess it at all. And I've been paying attention to Georgia Tech. They've had a lot of transfers from different schools like Michigan, Louisville, Rutgers. They even Georgia. They've gotten some guys that came to Georgia Tech, and they had a very good recruiting season. So I've seen that they had guys that were coming in that was going to make a change, but I didn't think that it was going to be this soon. So I want to give them the credit. I feel like a lot of people just kind of been giving, you know, just being hard on Florida State because they were the number 10 team, but they lost all across the board. I mean, you look at the way Georgia Tech was running the ball on them, it was really nothing that they could have done. Jamal Haynes, the running back for Georgia Tech, I mean, the guy was just pretty much breaking tackles. Their O-line was getting pushed on. He's a dog. And their O-line was getting pushed on the Florida State D-line that throughout the offseason I heard was going to be really good.
Best in the country is what some people were saying.
Yeah, some people were saying that was going to be a really good D-line, and they didn't really look like that on Saturday. I didn't really see that at all. To be honest, this game could have been a lot worse. The game could have been a lot worse. The score doesn't really reflect how much, like how dominant Georgia Tech was really looking throughout the entire game to me. DJ Uiagalelei is just, he's not that guy.
He's not.
He's just not that guy. I've been saying that for a while now. And to be honest, I'm not sure how this is going to really pan out for Florida State going into this year, definitely when it comes to ACC play. And Georgia Tech, I mean, to be honest, bro, it don't really matter how the rest of the season goes. This is a great program win because with them being located in the greater Atlanta metro area, you got guys that go to South DeKalb, North DeKalb, Norcross, Grayson, all these schools that's in that area, that's in that greater Atlanta metro area, to the point where, like, you're a recruit, you 4-star, 3-star recruit, and you don't want to have to go down to Athens. You can stay at home at Georgia Tech in Atlanta and possibly go to Georgia Tech and you will start, rather than going to Georgia where, hey, yeah, you a 4-star or you a 5-star or you a 3-star, but, man, we got about 5 different guys at your position that's coming out of the same class that you're coming out of that are from Texas, Florida, North Carolina, California, Tennessee. And you could just go right here and stay at home in Atlanta at Georgia Tech and start. as a freshman. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a great program for them, and they put themselves in a spot where now they're the number one team officially in ACC play. They're the number one team right now with that win against Florida State. And Florida State, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were the highest ranked ACC team.
Yep.
I believe in the conference. So
Yeah.
I mean, going now, it just you kind of got to look at the ACC totally different. Like, you're an ACC fan, you got to look at your conference totally different now, because the team that was supposed to be coming out of y'all conference, that like for sure that we were all like, man, I'm sure that they're going to come out of this conference and win. They just lost. So now, if you're a Louisville, if you're a North Carolina State, if you're Miami, Clemson, even Pitt, Virginia Tech, Virginia, you kind of got to look at it like, even Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they're in the ACC. So you got to look at that and be like, man, if Georgia Tech just did that, then it's wide open for any of us to be able to come through and win this conference this year, because Florida State is not as dominant as we thought that they were going to be.
Yeah.
Even with all the transfers and all the recruits, they're not dominant at all. And they just lost against a Georgia Tech team that none of us thought was going to be able to do what they did on Saturday. And so I got to give them all the respect, man. They just really played old-fashioned football and just ran the ball down their throat the entire game, with the quarterback, running back. It didn't matter who was running the ball. Their O-line was going to get pushed, and they was going to get some yards. And then it kind of gives me a little throwback to whenever they used to run the triple option, some years back, on how they was running the ball on Saturday. They just had a lot of success with that. And I'm not going to lie, if they keep on playing like that, man, they're going to be the team to beat in the ACC if they already not the team to beat, in the ACC. They're going to be really good this year. And to me, it don't really matter how they can go 8-4, 9-3. It don't really matter to me. This is a great program win for Georgia Tech. And if you're a recruit in that, just in Georgia period, but definitely in the Atlanta metro area, and if you haven't had your eyes on Georgia Tech, I'm sure you do now.
Yeah, I agree. Great win for Georgia Tech. And I'm about to go to you, Kyrell. But to your point, PJ, like you said about them recruiting those Atlanta dudes, they just got a 4-star D tackle, Christian Garrett, committed to Georgia Tech after that win. And he said he came to Georgia Tech because they're bringing back the old school recruiting when they recruited all Georgia guys. So to your point, if they can just recruit those guys in Atlanta, they can be good. Kyrell, did you get to catch some of this game? And what do you think about Florida State losing to Georgia Tech? And what do you think about their underwhelming quarterback, former 5-star transfer?
Yeah, his career has been I've been kind of disappointed in him, man. Him being Tua's cousin, I just call him that. I don't really know if he really is, but I should say that's Tua's cousin, man. I thought he was going to have some, kind of come in and start this new wave of, Pacific Islander quarterbacks, man. It seems like they were coming in troves. You got that 5-star down in Tennessee, who I'm trying to watch this year.
Yeah.
But, man, hey, I just want to say, just salute those two programs and just celebrate the holiday, man. What a way to bring back football. That was the perfect –
great game.
I haven't really been too up on just football season, or too excited, but that got me there. Okay, I'm ready. Let's watch some football. It's football season, y'all. That's true. That's not true. First of all, I don't know why I just said that's true, but that's not
agreed.
First of all, but that's how mad I've been all year, Jalen. That's how mad I've been all year. That last year was so bad, man. For 28 years, man, I ain't never been this mad at. But I just it affected everything. I told Jalen, yes, the other time we was on Quay that, I took up knitting. I had to find me a hobby. I was not looking forward to football season. And then I cut on this game, man. And I'm like, man, these dudes, they kind of hitting. They're running back over there. He got he looked like a little bowling ball, but he got them feet, man. He out there just making dudes touch their ankles, man. It's just crazy. I don't know what to. Man, why do you? Okay.
What? Hold on, wait, bro.
No, we just keep going. Just keep going.
So
God.
the dude was making people miss their tackles, and I really appreciate just watching football for the first game of the year to be a kind of a classic like that, man. Georgia Tech, Florida State, battle of the Southeast. And look at Georgia Tech, man. Like, I didn't get to catch much of what PJ said because, he's just going, I don't really hear him. But I did hear the part that, they started recruiting some of those Atlanta guys and those Georgia guys. And that's what college football is about, man. It's like my region versus your region. That's why I never liked Oklahoma. I don't care what y'all recruiting all Texas kids. I don't care how good y'all are. Y'all coming over here and taking our talent. So it's good to just see schools getting back to, taking care of their pipelines, man. Like you're in Georgia, get those kids from Georgia, get a couple of those kids from out of state, man. But let's bring back these rivalries, man. Football needs rivalry. It needs hatred and vitriol. Like it needs all that stuff to really get it be the max that it can be. So I was excited, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree as with the rivalries part in there too, and how Georgia Tech can bring back a lot of that, especially recruiting some of those Georgia guys and getting them and keeping that talent down there. And I also agree with the Oklahoma take. Ain't no good football players in Oklahoma. They got to come to Texas, man. But we'll see about them. We'll talk about them later in the week as they just joined into the SEC too. Quay, what do you think about this game, man? What we just saw with Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Who just joined to the SEC?
Oklahoma.
Oh my God, I see that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oklahoma had a good year last year, but what were we talking about?
Georgia Tech and Florida State last weekend.
Yeah, but I'm glad that it also shows Florida State should have been in the playoffs last year. This quarterback, I don't know. They're going to have to make this season great. Did they extend the playoffs yet?
Yeah, it's going to be 12 teams this year.
They'll be all right. They get to they had a good rest of the season. They'll be all right, but it was a terrible loss to be the first game to watch on TV. Like y'all was crying about not being in the playoffs. All them kids set out, and then y'all go. First of all, y'all get killed by Georgia. Then y'all come out here and lose the first game. Oh God.
Yeah, you can't do that. And like you said, after all that they had to say last year, you think Florida State would have came out and tried to make a statement, but Georgia Tech came and gave them a good game. So hey, got to shout out Georgia Tech there. Going to stay right here on some college football before we get out of here, folks. Coach Prime has been in the headlines a lot for the last week, really, week or so, with this dispute he's had with a couple reporters, and they just ended up getting a reporter banned and stuff like that. But I don't want to come on here and talk about all the the same stuff over and over that they're talking about, and he shouldn't be running this program and all that. I do want to talk about the headline, though, that they just had, I believe, their football banquet or whatever banquet they have before the season starts every year, and they were talking about the program on there and talked about how Coach Prime, since he's came to Colorado, he's made $113 million. I think that was last year or maybe the last 2 years, but I think it might have just been last year. Their census said out there $113 million for the city of Boulder, Colorado, since Coach Prime has jumped in to the program there and down there in Boulder, Colorado. So we know they're going to kick off the rest of football season, I'll say, since we did have football games last weekend. They're going to kick off this football extravaganza on Thursday. They're going to take on a super tough North Dakota State team, and that game will be on CBS, I believe. So everybody will be tuned in for that. That's on Thursday night, I believe. Quay, we'll go back to you, man. What do you think about Deion and the money and the impact he's brought to this Colorado program? And then what do you think about them starting their season on Thursday?
They start this Thursday, right?
Yeah, yep.
So I think Deion is a sports, like he is made to bring big attention to everything. Win, losing, what he says, just basically on the lines of Jerry Jones, no matter what, it's going to be a headline, good, bad, indifferent. I also think that they're going to have a better year this year, and I think the year behind them and their quarterback being seasoned, they have good returning players, and having a good corner that can erase a side literally helps them out in a lot of ways. So I do think they're going to have a better season, better than 4 games. I'm predicting about 7, 8. I do think they have a better line this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to – yeah, you can keep going.
They brought in some good recruits, and they have a good year. I just think it's going to be a better year in Boulder. But I don't know yet. But I do think Thursday. Who they play Thursday?
North Dakota State.
Yeah.
So a lower team, but they're a powerhouse in Division II football. So it'll still be a test for them.
Yeah.
Quay, why you getting quiet, Quay?
I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't know. Like I think they should beat them, but
For sure.
they're gonna get because they have Dion, bro. They're gonna get everybody's best game. You know how many people they sent to the NFL Combine last year just playing against them?
Facts.
Like their best tape, like the kid from Colorado State, the DN, he literally showed them on film he's an NFL talent just against Washington. I didn't even know bro name, the receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like just playing, so they're gonna get everybody the best game. That's the only thing I hate about it. Have them Dion can't turn down the spotlight.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get every kid who wants to play for Dion. They're gonna get their best game every game.
Yeah, I agree. Every game's going to be a big game when you're playing against Colorado, so they'll definitely get their best game. PJ, we'll go back over to you and we'll end with you, Kyrell. PJ, what do you think about the impact with Colorado? I mean, that Coach Prime been having there at Colorado, saying they made $113 million for the city of Boulder, Colorado. And then what do you think about them starting their season on Thursday and going forward?
Well, Deion Sanders at this point, he's pretty much a brand of his own. So anywhere that he goes, you're gonna profit off of Deion, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not really just surprised at all. I mean, it's Deion Sanders, and me and you talked about that too. Like right when he first made that move, that they were going to be able to profit off of Deion a lot. And I honestly, I like everything that he's been doing. Even down to just the coaching staff, the coaches that he's brought in, just to put in a culture to win at Colorado, a culture that hasn't really been there for a long time. I'd say since probably the early 2000s. To the point some of these kids don't even really remember that Colorado was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
They were a powerhouse back
with Eric Bieniemy
in the 90s. You know, yeah, they were a really, really good team. They were a team that you really had to worry about if you've seen them on your schedule. So Deion is doing a great job, even with the season that they had last year. You've seen a glimpse of what they could possibly end up being. I think coming into this season, going against North Dakota this upcoming Thursday, that's going to be a great game just to kind of measure where you're at. I don't think that they're going to blow North Dakota State out, but if they do, then you got to really respect Colorado. And even if they don't, and it's a close game, you still have to. I'm just looking forward to seeing, with all the new pieces on the team and some of the guys that's coming back, just to see how they're going to look this season, you know. And it's still early on, so a lot of teams, you know, in week 1, week 2, week 3, you're still trying to, you know, find your way going into the season. And so I don't really expect them to just come out, you know, and just destroy North Dakota State, because they're still having to get everything put together for themselves. But I really do think it's going to be a really good game. I think Shador is going to have a really good game. I'm just happy to look forward to it. I'm trying to see what the defense is going to look like. That was one of my biggest worries, was the defense coming into this season. So that's really what I want to look forward to seeing. And playing against North Dakota State, a team that's known to just upset a lot of different FBS teams, I'm sure that Deion is not taking them lightly at all.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not taking them lightly. He talked about it. I seen it on one of the interviews. I seen him talking about it. He knows it's going to be a test. North Dakota State been one of the best D1 AA schools for years now, and they always got a tough team. So it's going to be a big game for them. Kyrell, what do you think about Colorado season coming up, and then the report of how much money that Coach Prime has brought into the city of Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah, it's just a testament to who he is as a person, you know, who he's been his whole life. He's brought money everywhere he goes. So it's he did the same thing at Jackson State. You know, people have their opinion about how that went down there, but you know, while he was there, they were being talked about. They were in the news. They were in the headlines. Same thing for Colorado. You know, despite a subpar season, you know, there was hype there. I mean, we were all Colorado fans those first 3 weeks of the season.
Seemed like the whole country was the first few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, everybody do the selling now. Like we are holding our watches up
Facts.
just to see. So we want to see them do well, but it's just I'm a football guy, man, and I don't believe in really theatrics. Really, what I believe is I don't think that you coexist. So while Deion is Deion, he's going to generate so much wealth and so much good things for the program and city. And they're going to grow. Boulder is Boulder, so it's just going to benefit from those places. It's a beautiful place. But at the same time, I really don't see them competing with this team that we're going to play on Thursday. I would be thoroughly surprised if we get out there and we see a Colorado dominate North Dakota State. I'm expecting either a blowout on the other side or a close game with North Dakota State coming out on top. But just, I don't know, man. This is a new era of football. I don't know how.
Man, what you basing that on?
A blowout. North Dakota State blowing out Colorado.
Yeah. I don't really.
Boy, Shadur gonna put up 620 on them.
Shadur.
No, man. Look, I get they got that freshman left tackle, man, but I'm still looking at those trenches. Did he get enough players? Did he get enough players in? Did he get the right players in? And we not gonna know that. We're not gonna know that until week 1. And I'm looking at North Dakota State track record, and then Deion.
Name one player. Name one player.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't need to name a player, but you know who North Dakota State is.
You have to name them. We know because they win in their division. But what would they be if they were in the Big 12? Where would they be?
You can't. North Dakota State?
Yes, I'm asking.
I don't know. They probably be right with
You
Colorado.
do know they be the worst team in the Big 12.
No, I ain't gonna say that.
Bro, come on, bro. Shadur finna get Shadur. You just heard Jalen, bro. He finna go crazy.
I think Shadur gonna do his thing, man. I don't. That's kind of a crazy take, like you said, talking about they could get blown out. I don't know about that, but I think we're all definitely looking forward to this game on Thursday to kick off football season for us, and We got some more to talk about as we go forward throughout this week, man. But I want to thank everybody that listened with us today. Make sure you guys go on to CentexSportsNetwork.com and subscribe there. Also subscribe to the YouTube Centex Sports TV. Also go on to CentexSports1.com and the Centex Sports 1 app to be able to listen to this daily. This show is from 5 to 7 every single day, folks, or Monday through Thursday, and Fridays will be a sort of featured around high school football. But Monday through Thursday, Centex Primetime. We'll be back, folks. Thanks, everybody, for listening to us again today. And thanks to all the guests coming on, Kyrell, Quay, and PJ. Appreciate y'all for jumping on here with me. I will be back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Make sure you guys are getting ready and tune in. We'll be back. Make sure you guys don't miss any of the action. That's going to do it for today on Centex Primetime. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
Book your next special event at the Bellmead Civic Center. From quinceañeras to Christmas parties, the Civic Center has room to accommodate your needs. You're planning that special birthday party, having a family reunion, or training seminar. Book now at the Bellmead Civic Center. Now, if you need to rent a room for that big